I've lived 107 years on this planet, and people keep asking me the same question. What's the secret? They expect me to say something about diet or exercise or genetics. But the real answer is simpler and harder than any of that. The secret is something most people never figure out, even if they live to be 90. And it's costing them decades of happiness they could have right now. Let me be direct with you. I wasn't supposed to make it this long. My mother died when I was 5 years old from tuberculosis. I watched her cough blood into white handkerchiefs that turned red. My father brought me to America in 1928 with $40 and 3 words of English. I was 8 years old, sleeping on a wooden floor in Brooklyn with 6 other immigrants. By age 10, I was working in a shoe factory beside my father. My hands bled from the leather and the needles. That was my childhood. You think that's where the hard times ended? Not even close. My first wife died at 28 years old. We had 9 years together. 9 years of building a life, having children, making plans. Then one afternoon in June, she went to the roof to hang laundry. Brain aneurysm. She was gone before she hit the ground. I was 31 with 2 babies and no idea how a man continues after something like that. Years later, my shop burned down. 26 years of work turned to ashes in one night. I stood on the sidewalk at 58 years old watching everything disappear. The building, the equipment, the inventory, everything my family built for 2 generations, just gone. So when I tell you the secret to happiness, understand that I'm not some lucky person who had an easy life. I know what loss feels like. I know what it means to have your entire world collapse multiple times. But here's what I learned, and this is the part most people miss. Hard times don't have to make you a hard person. You get to choose what suffering does to you. That's the first real truth about living a long and happy life. Tragedy is mandatory. Bitterness is optional. After my wife died, I became angry. For 6 months, I was the meanest man in Brooklyn. I yelled at customers in my shop. I yelled at my sister. I didn't sleep, barely ate. My children were terrified of me. I was drowning in rage and grief, pulling everyone down with me. Then one night, my daughter came to me crying. She was maybe 5 years old, the same age I was when I lost my mother. She asked me why I was so angry all the time. Then she said something that broke me. She asked if she had done something wrong. I looked at this little girl who had just lost her mother, and she thought my anger was her fault. That moment changed everything. I made a decision that night. I told myself, you can be angry or you can be a father. You cannot be both. My wife didn't fall in love with an angry man. She fell in love with someone who made her laugh. If I wanted to honor her memory, I needed to be that person again, not just for me, for my children who needed to see that life continues even after loss. Was I still sad? Every single day for years? The sadness didn't just vanish because I made a choice, but I decided that sadness wouldn't be the only thing my children saw. They would also see joy. They would watch their father choose to keep living. That choice, that single decision to not let grief define me, it changed the entire trajectory of my life. And it's available to everyone, not just people who've lost someone. Everyone who's ever felt stuck, everyone who's waiting for circumstances to improve before they allow themselves to be happy. You're going through something right now. Maybe you lost someone you love. Maybe you lost a job, a relationship, your health, your savings. Maybe life knocked you flat and you're still on the ground trying to figure out how to stand up again, I'm not going to tell you to pretend it doesn't hurt. It does hurt. Feel that. Acknowledge it. But then, and this is critical, then you have to choose what comes next. The pain is real, but what you do with it is entirely up to you. Most people wait for external circumstances to change before they give themselves permission to be happy. They're waiting for the right job, the right partner, the right amount of money. They're waiting for life to give them a reason to feel joy. They die waiting. Because here's what took me over a century to fully understand. Joy isn't something that happens to you. Joy is something you decide on. Every single morning, you wake up and make a choice. Are you going to look for reasons to be grateful, or are you going to catalog everything that's wrong? That choice determines everything. Not your circumstances, your choice. And the people who figure this out early, they're the ones who live fully no matter how many years they get. The ones who never learn it, they can live to be 100 and still feel like life cheated them. Let me tell you about Gloria. 1990. I'm 70 years old, and I haven't been with a woman in almost 4 decades. I go to a church potluck honestly just for the lasagna, and I see this woman across the room. She's laughing at something, her whole face lighting up, and I think that's the most beautiful thing I've witnessed in 40 years. Her name was Gloria Washington, black woman, 62, retired nurse. When I walked over to talk to her, half the room stopped eating to stare. An old Italian man and a black woman in 1990 Brooklyn. The looks we got could have frozen water. My son Enzo didn't speak to me for 2 years after I married her. 24 months of silence. He told me I was disgracing his mother's memory. Said the whole neighborhood was talking. You know what I said to him? Enzo, I love you, but I spent 40 years alone. I'm 70 years old, and I found someone who makes me laugh. If the neighborhood doesn't like it, the neighborhood can go straight to hell. That's the second thing you need to understand. Other people's opinions are worthless, completely worthless. At some point, hopefully before you turn 70, you figure out that other people's judgments can't actually hurt you. Only you can hurt yourself by believing them. Think about how much time you waste worrying what your neighbors think, what your relatives say, what strangers might whisper. They're not living your life. You are. And when you're lying on your deathbed, are you going to wish you'd made your neighbors happier? Or are you going to wish you'd lived for yourself? Gloria and I had 33 years together. 33 years of laughter, arguments, making up, cooking together, falling asleep on the couch. She died last January in her sleep at 95. I held her hand through the whole night. I miss her every single day. But you know what? She'd be furious with me if I stopped living because she's gone. She'd say, Sal, don't you dare sit around feeling sorry for yourself. We had 33 years. That's more than most people get. She's right. So I keep going. For her. For me. For anyone who needs to see that it's possible. You want to know what makes me happy now at 106? The list is simpler than you'd think. Coffee in the morning, the way light comes through my window around 9. My great-granddaughter Sophia calls me every Sunday. She's 7. The taste of good bread, the sound of Italian music, a warm bed at night. A stranger who smiles at me on the street for no reason. That's it. That's the complete list. I don't need a yacht, don't need a mansion or a fancy car or any of the things people kill themselves chasing. I don't need anything I don't already have. Here's the part that haunts me sometimes. I could have been this happy at 30, at 40, at 50, but I was too busy chasing things that didn't matter. Too busy worrying about money, about what people thought, about everything except what was right in front of me. I wasted decades being afraid of things that never happened. This is the third lesson, and it's the most important one. Happiness isn't at the finish line. It's not waiting for you when you finally get the promotion, buy the house, meet the perfect person, lose the weight. It's not out there somewhere in the future. Happiness is right here, right now, in the things you already possess. But most people are blind to it. They walk past their own happiness every single day because they're too busy looking ahead to some imaginary moment when everything will finally be perfect. Let me tell you something. That moment never comes. There's always going to be another goal, another problem, another reason to postpone joy. If you wait for perfect conditions, you'll wait forever. So tonight, after you finish watching this, I want you to do something specific. Sit down wherever you are. Look around. Find 3 things you're grateful for right now. Not big things, small things. The way your dog looks at you like you're the most important person in the world. The sound of your kids laughing in another room. The fact that you can breathe without thinking about it. Start there. Gratitude is like a muscle. You have to exercise it daily or it atrophies. And if you do this, if you practice seeing what you have instead of what you lack, I promise your entire life will shift. I'm 106 years old. I lost my mother at 5, lost my first wife at 31, lost my shop at 58, lost Gloria last year. By any reasonable measure, I should be the saddest man alive, but I'm not. Because every morning when I wake up, before I even open my eyes, I say the same thing. Grazie, God. Thank you for one more day. Then I ask myself, what are we going to do with it? That's the secret. That's the entire secret. You choose joy every single day, not because life is easy. Life is brutal. Not because bad things stop happening. Bad things never stop. You choose joy because the alternative is misery, and misery is a complete waste of whatever time you have left. My mother used to say something when I was 5 years old. I can still hear her voice even though she's been gone 101 years. She'd say, Salvatore, life is beautiful if you look at it right. I didn't understand then. How could I? I was 5. I didn't understand at 30 either, or 50, or even 70. But now, at 106, I finally get it. Life is beautiful, not perfect, beautiful. With all the pain, all the loss, all the hard times that knock you down and make you wonder if you can get back up. Beautiful. And you only get one life. That's it. No practice rounds, no do-overs. You get one shot at this thing. So here's what kills me. People spend their one life waiting for Monday to become Friday, waiting for winter to become summer, waiting for retirement, for the kids to grow up, for the mortgage to get paid off, always waiting for some future moment when they'll finally let themselves be happy. And then they die. Still waiting. I see it everywhere. People my age, the few who are still around, they sit in their chairs and talk about the past. Remember when? Remember how? Like their life is already over and all that's left is memory. But I'm still here, still living, still making new memories. Last week I tried Thai food for the first time, 106 years old, and I'd never had pad Thai. It was too spicy, made my eyes water. But you know what? I'm glad I tried it. That's a new experience. That's life. My neighbor's kid, He's teaching me how to use one of those tablets. The iPad thing, I'm terrible at it. My fingers don't work right, and I keep pressing the wrong buttons. But we laugh about it. That's connection. That's joy. See, most people think joy is something big, a wedding, a promotion, winning the lottery. They're waiting for these massive moments of happiness. But joy isn't big. Joy is tiny. It's in 1,000 small moments you're walking right past because you're too busy looking for something bigger. The way steam rises from your coffee cup in the morning, the sound of rain on the window when you're warm inside, the weight of a blanket at night. These things are happening all around you every single day, and you don't even notice because you're too busy being stressed about things that probably won't even matter next month. I wasted so much time, decades, being angry, being scared, being worried about things I couldn't control. If I could go back and talk to my younger self, you know what I'd say? Pay attention. That's it. Just pay attention. When you're eating dinner with your family, be there. Not on your phone, not thinking about work, not somewhere else in your head. Be there, because one day you'll give anything to have that dinner back. When someone you love is talking to you, listen. Really listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk, because their voice won't be around forever. When the sun is shining and you have 10 minutes, go outside. Stand in it. Feel it on your face. Don't tell yourself you're too busy. You're not too busy for the sun. This is what nobody tells you. Time doesn't slow down. It speeds up. Every year goes faster than the last. When you're young, a year feels like forever. When you're old, a year is nothing. It's gone before you notice it arrived. So stop saving your good dishes for special occasions. Stop saving your nice clothes for someday. Stop saving yourself for when everything is perfect. Use the good dishes on a Tuesday. Wear the nice clothes to the grocery store. Be yourself right now, today, while you still can. Because here's the truth nobody wants to hear. You're going to die. Sorry to be blunt about it, but it's true. Maybe tomorrow, maybe in 50 years, but it's coming. And when you get to the end, you're not going to wish you worked more hours or stressed more about money or spent more time being angry at people who wronged you. You're going to wish you laughed more, loved more, noticed more. So stop waiting to be happy. Stop waiting for your life to start. This is it. Right now, this moment. This is your life happening while you're busy making other plans. Choose joy. Today, this morning, this afternoon, tonight before you go to sleep. Not because you have to, because you get to. That's the secret. That's what took me 106 years to learn, and now you know it too. You know what I think about when I look back at 107 years? Not the big moments, not the weddings or the funerals or the times I thought my world was ending. I think about a Tuesday afternoon in 1956 when my daughter brought me coffee exactly how I liked it without asking. I think about the way Gloria hummed when she cooked. I think about my father's hands, rough as tree bark, holding mine when we first saw the Statue of Liberty. Those moments, that's what a life is made of. Not the disasters you survived or the money you made or the impressive things you did. The small moments when you were fully alive and didn't even realize it. So here's what I want you to do. Right now, today, stop reading this and look up. What do you see? Who's near you? What can you hear? That's your life. That's what you have. And if you can't find joy in it, you won't find it anywhere else either. I don't know how much time I have left. Could be a day, could be another year. Doesn't matter. Because however much time I get, I'm going to choose joy in it. I'm going to notice the coffee and the sunlight and the sound of Sophia's voice on the phone. And when my time comes, I'll go out knowing I didn't waste a single day waiting for my life to begin, because I was too busy living it. That's all there is. Choose joy right now while you still can.